What would you do when you see someone who looks exactly like you in a movie? Hello, and welcome back to the story. Today we will be making a recap on a 2013 movie titled The Enemy. Warning, there will be some spoilers ahead, so watch at your own risk and enjoy. The story begins with a man taking out a key from a black pouch. He is accompanied by another man as they enter a locked room where men are seriously watching a naked woman playing with herself on stage. A while later, two women comes on stage bringing a silver tray that contains a live tarantula. A woman puts her foot on top of the spider and is about to squash it. One morning, a man named Adam arrives at school and later starts his lecture on history. He talks about dictatorship and how it becomes a pattern that repeats itself throughout history. That evening, Adam's girlfriend, Mary, visits him in his apartment. After making love in bed, Mary leaves. Day after day, Adam follows a similar pattern. Lecture at school, Mary visits him, they make love, and she leaves. One day, his colleague recommends him a movie titled Where There's a Will There's a Way. Adam says he'll consider watching it. On his way home, Adam makes a stop at a store to find the movie. That night, Mary invites Adam to bed, but he refuses because he has got a lot of paperwork to finish. A while later, Adam takes out the movie and watches it on his laptop. When the film is finished, Adam looks tired as he goes to bed and tries to make love with Mary. She gets mad and then leaves. Adam has a dream about the movie and remembers that one of the actors looks exactly like him. He watches the film again, fasts forward to the scene, and he confirms it. Adam is bothered by his doppelganger. He checks the end credits and finds out the actor's screen name is Daniel St. Clair. He searches the internet and finds his other movies. He checks the agency's address and finds out that it is just within the same city he lives in. One morning, Adam goes to the agency. He tries to sneak in, but the security guard sees him. The guard greets him and calls him Anthony. He finds a package for Anthony and gives it to him. Adam takes it and leaves. He opens it in the car and finds a confidential envelope with Anthony's real name and address. Adam looks him up in the directory and calls his number through a payphone. Anthony's wife answers and recognizes his voice. She believes it is her husband calling and is just pranking her. Adam hangs up the phone and breathes heavily. Adam is so bothered, so he calls the number again. And this time, it is Anthony who answers. Adam is amused that they have the same voice. He tells Anthony that he watched his movies, and he finds out that they look exactly alike. Adam wants to meet with him. Anthony agrees and writes Adam's name on a piece of paper. His wife, Helen, asks who is he talking to, and he says it is the man who called her earlier. Helen says that he is lying and asks her husband if he is cheating and seeing her again. Anthony gets mad and says it was a man who called, then leaves. Helen is upset as she looks at the unknown number in the call logs. One night, Helen wakes up and finds the paper where her husband wrote Adam's name. She then looks him up on the internet and finds out that he is a professor. The next day, Helen goes to the university where Adam is teaching. She sees Adam sitting on the bench. She just stares at him, shocked because he looks exactly like Anthony. Adam talks with her and asks how many months is she pregnant. She answers 6. When Adam leaves, Helen calls her husband. Anthony answers, and she is speechless, and puts down the phone. Helen goes home confused. Anthony later arrives, seems exhausted from running. Helen ignores him and walks out. That evening, Anthony notices her crying, so he asks her what's wrong. Helen then tells him that she went to see the guy on the phone. Anthony gets worried and Helen says the man looks and sounds exactly like him. She asks what is happening and her husband says he does not know. Helen says she thinks Anthony knows, and she cries. Adam has a dream that he is walking in a hotel hallway where a naked lady with mask walks upside down. He wakes up and later goes to the address that Anthony gave him. When he arrives, Adam takes out the envelope for Anthony which he hadn't opened. On the hotel hallway, he sees a lady walking just like what he saw in his dream. He enters the room and waits for Anthony. A while later, Anthony comes in and he can't believe what he's seeing. Anthony tells Adam that they might be brothers, but Adam is sure that they are not. Anthony asks if he also got a scar on his chest, and Adam freaks out. He gives him the envelope and rushes out. Anthony arrives home and tells his wife that the guy won't be bothering them again. Helen looks upset and does not respond. One day, Anthony stalks Adam as he leaves his apartment with his girlfriend. After Adam leaves, he starts to follow Mary until she reaches her work. We can see that he has a strong desire for Mary. Adam talks with his mother about his doppelganger. His mother says there must be some difference between them, and Adam says they are exactly the same. His mother assures him that he is her only son, and she does not want to hear any more about this doppelganger. His mother later says that he has a respectable job and a nice apartment, so he should also quit his fantasy of being a third-rate movie actor. Adam is shocked and confused. At his apartment, Anthony murmurs his plan on how he can convince Adam to let him sleep with his girlfriend. The next day, Anthony storms to Adam's apartment and asks him why did he went looking for him. Adam says that he was just curious. Anthony then asks why did he call his wife. Before Adam can answer, Anthony interrupts and asks if he is sleeping with her. Adam denies it and says he is crazy. Anthony starts to yell and says since he brought his wife into this mess, he will also bring Adam's girlfriend into the picture. Anthony tells him that if Adam wants him out of his life, he needs to give his demands. He should give him his clothes and car so that he can take Adam's girlfriend on a romantic getaway. He promises to bring her back the next day. After that, he will disappear from his life forever. A while later, Anthony suits up and leaves Adam, who is sitting on the chair, upset. We later see Mary is in a car with Anthony, who lustfully stares at her. Meanwhile, Adam goes to Anthony's apartment. At the elevator, the concierge tells him that he can't stop thinking about what happened last night. He wants to go back, but they change the lock and sends new keys only to those on the list. Adam pretends to understand what he is saying and just agrees. They reach Anthony's room, and the concierge unlocks the door for him. Adam wears Anthony's clothes so he can pretend to be him. Helen later arrives and asks why is he home when he said that he will be at his mom's house. Adam says he cancelled it. When Helen invites him to bed, Adam breathes heavily and gets nervous. He later gets into the bed, and Helen stares at him and realizes that he is not her husband. She later hugs him and asks if he had a good day at school. Adam is baffled, and when he tries to clarify her question, she says forget it. Meanwhile, Anthony, who is pretending to be Adam, is making love passionately with Mary. She suddenly stops and Anthony asks why. Mary says he has a ring mark on his finger. Realizing that he is not Adam, she panics and asks him who is he. Back at Anthony's apartment, Adam couldn't sleep. Despite knowing he is not her husband, Helen approaches him and makes love with him. Anthony drives Mary home. While on their way, the two get into a fight and Anthony accidentally swerves the car and hits the barrier. Next morning, we can hear in the radio report about the road accident last night that killed 2 people. When Adam puts on Anthony's suit, he finds the envelope. He opens it and finds a black pouch that contains a key. This must be the key that the concierge was talking about, the key to the room we saw on the first scene. Adam then tells Helen that he will go out tonight. Helen did not respond. And when Adam checks her, did you get the ending of the movie? Please let us know in the comments section below. If you like our movie recap, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. To be updated for new movie recaps, hit the notification bell.